Your favorite Disney World lounge just got a brand new menu. Nomad Lounge at Disney's Animal Kingdom is known for delivering amazing vibes, shaking up delicious cocktails, and dishing up fantastic food. But will this new menu change things? I am going to be ordering every single new menu item and giving you my honest take. Nomad Lounge is located just before you cross the bridge into Pandora, and you won't need a reservation to dine here. Simply join the walk-up list to request a table when you're close by. Luckily for us today, there wasn't a long wait for a table, and we were able to snag a table just inside. We're actually seated in one of the Tiffin's dining rooms today. Tiffin's is the signature restaurant located directly next to the Nomad Lounge. The Nomad Lounge can get pretty busy at times, so lately they've been opening up one of these side dining rooms for Tiffin's and seating guests from the Nomad Lounge in here. But if it's a nice day, they also have great outdoor seating, and if the wait is too long, they aren't accepting any more parties, or you just don't have time to sit, you can also grab cocktails to go from the bar. But today, we have got to dine in because just this morning, they announced a brand new menu here at the Nomad Lounge. And guys, I gotta admit, I'm a little nervous because I was a huge fan of their previous menu. And I'm not talking just like a few new menu items. No, the entire menu is completely new. They have removed every single thing on their menu except for their very famous dessert. Let me show you. So here it is, our new menu. At the very top, you'll see a drink listed as a special, but that has been around for quite a while, so I'm not really sure why it is on this menu. But just below that, you'll see the all-new Nomad's bread and dips. You'll see a charcuterie and cheese board. I'm excited to try that. They have wild mushroom dumplings, which is the plant-based offering. And then if we flip this around, there is even more food. They have sticky pork ribs. They have a grilled beef kefta. They also have these Chinese 5-spice glazed chicken wings, which sound delicious. And of course, the churros. If you look closely, there's a new dipping sauce for them. I know what a lot of you guys are probably thinking. Where is the Tiffin's bread service? I know that's probably what a lot of you guys ordered when you came here. And yeah, it's no longer on the menu. I'm very surprised they took that off. They kind of changed things up. But yeah, it's no longer here. Neither is the tuna poke bowl, which was actually my go-to savory order when I dined at the Nomad Lounge. So I am very sad to no longer see that on the menu here. I hope that something else is kind of gonna make up for that, but I made a list of everything else that was removed, and yeah, it was literally everything. So there's no longer the Korean barbecue mushroom bao buns, the grilled chicken satay is no longer, the Cuban Frita sliders, the Tiffin's bread service, of course, and then the tuna poke bowl. All gone. The only thing that stayed are the churros, which, thank God, I think all hell would have broken loose if they removed the churros from the Nomad Lounge menu. But now that we've gone over all of the food on the menu and all of the food that is no longer on the menu, we have to go over these cocktails because they have some really good ones on the menu. I really enjoy this Mustang coffee down here, which has whiskey, brown sugar, butter, and hot coffee. If it's a cool day, I definitely recommend you trying that out. Sounds interesting? Trust me, it is very good. But my favorite is definitely down here, the Hightower Rocks. It's kind of like a watermelon margarita. It is so refreshing and delicious. I think that's what I'm probably going to go with today. I haven't had it in a while. The Hightower Rocks has Casa Dragones Blanco Tequila, watermelon, sweet and sour, and lime juice for $18.50. I always say this is a weird pull for me because yes, I love tequila, I love margaritas, and I love watermelon, but I do not like margaritas at all that have a sweet and sour mix. I usually steer way clear of a margarita with a sweet and sour mix. However, there's just something about this Hightower Rocks here that I absolutely love. I don't know why, but it's so good every single time. And this time is no different. It is just so fresh. And I think the freshness of everything really masks the sweet and sour flavor perfectly. I don't know if they're using like that Monin watermelon syrup or what, but if they are, they're doing a good job because it tastes like fresh watermelon puree. It tastes so fresh, and on a hot day, it's not even that hot today, it's actually a beautiful day. This is like the perfect refreshing drink. Walking around Animal Kingdom and then stopping into Nomad Lounge, cooling off with a Hightower Rocks. There's quite literally nothing like it. It's perfectly strong, perfectly refreshing, man. It's one of my favorite Disney drinks, honestly. I love it. Have you ever had it, Mom? No?
Because doesn't it have tequila?
It has tequila, but I think you would actually like this. It's so good. If my mom likes this, you know it's good.
You know it's sweet if I like it.
It is a little sweet.
I taste the tequila. It's not sweet enough for me.
Okay, so maybe that's not the best test, but I promise you guys, it is so good. And we also got 2 slices of watermelon today, so we have a drink and a little refreshing snack as well. Want a slice of watermelon, Mom? Ooh,
Oh,
the tequila has soaked up into the watermelon.
God.
Really tasty. All right, our first round has arrived, and I, of course, wanted to do this in a couple of rounds since we're going to be getting everything. And first up, we've got the appetizers. So we've got the naan bread with these spreads, and we also have the charcuterie board here. And since I know a lot of you guys are probably a little upset about the Tiffin's bread service, I figured we'd start with the new bread service. This is Nomad's Bread and Dips. It's served with warm naan bread paired with a trio of globally inspired dips. We have a roasted garlic hummus, roasted eggplant and beetroot spread, and a roasted red pepper and walnut muhammara. Now, if you look at this naan bread here, it looks completely plain. However, if you look at the menu online, it's called something completely different, and it also says the naan is a warm onion naan. I don't see any onion, and I don't see anything spread on top of this naan either. So I'm going to assume that it is, in fact, not a warm onion naan, and it is instead what is being listed on the menu here at the table. And it's just a regular warm naan bread. I don't know. I feel like I would have loved an onion naan personally, and I feel like this naan might just be a little too plain here. But what dip should we try first? We have a bunch of different dips. Honestly, I'm most excited for this beet dip, and it looks very pretty as well. So let's try that. We'll go for a dip in the beet. That beetroot spread is really quite tasty. It honestly just tastes like hummus to me. I know it's supposed to be like an eggplant and beet spread. I'm not tasting any eggplant at all. There's almost a little bit of like a vinegary pop in there, which I really like. But overall, that's really tasty. I do think this naan is like a little dry. It's actually really dry. The naan itself is just missing something. And I feel like if they even just brushed a little bit of garlic butter on top, that would just add so much more flavor to this dish. And I know you're supposed to eat it with the hummus, so that's adding all of the flavor. But I feel like just brushing a little bit of garlic butter, something on this naan would just enhance it so much more and just make it so much better. But the spread itself is great. No complaints there. I guess we'll move on to the roasted garlic hummus, which has some olive tapenade on it as well as some roasted garlic. And I'm all about the garlic, so I want to get in there and grab some of that roasted garlic that's on top. The only thing I tasted in that first bite was olive. I tend to like olives, so that's fine with me, but it really overpowered any garlic flavor that this could have potentially had. So I want to get another bite kind of without olive. Just try the hummus maybe on its own. Okay, there's a little bit of the garlic flavor. I could use way more though. You know me. I love garlic, so I could always use more garlic whenever something is supposed to be garlicky. It's just not enough for me. But again, I love garlic. This naan is just unfortunately not doing it for me. I like the dips a lot so far, but this could use a lot of improvement. But we still have one dip to go. The roasted red pepper and walnut muhammara. I'm not quite sure what that is, but we have some walnuts as well as some pickled onions on top. I'm assuming this is going to taste like a roasted red pepper hummus as well. Looks very creamy. Oh, that has a ton of flavor. Almost like chipotle pepper flavor. Wow. That is really good. And I feel like the nuts on top pair perfectly with it. That extra nuttiness is so good. And that definitely has a kick as well. That is really spicy. Wow. That is really good. This one actually might be my favorite one so far. When I first started, I really thought the beet one was going to be my favorite because I really like beet things. But no, this roasted red pepper is really surprising me here. Wow. This one is really good, and I think it's because of those walnuts on top. You got to get a bite with the walnut. That is perfect right there. Overall, I do enjoy this dish. $17 I do think is fair because you're getting quite a lot of the dips. Like, this is 3 good servings of all of the dips. With that being said, you're not getting enough naan bread. They're only giving you 2 pieces of naan bread, and that is in no way enough to eat all of this dip. I'd say you definitely need at least 3 or 4 naan breads to finish all of this dip that they give you. I'm sure you could probably ask for an extra piece of naan, but they would probably charge you if you wanted to get an extra piece, but there is no way you could soak up all of this dip here with just 2 pieces of naan bread. I think the naan could be improved, but these dips are honestly so good that I might just order this again. My mom don't even like hummus, and look at her over there, enjoying that hummus trio.
Which one was this one?
That's the garlic one. Okay, this makes things a lot better. I just asked. You're actually able to order a 3rd naan, 1 extra naan for free, no upcharge. I think if you add a 4th one on, they would charge you a little bit more, but you can ask for a 3rd naan, no upcharge. So yeah, that definitely makes things a little sweeter. I'd say that's probably a must order for me now. But we're moving on to the charcuterie and cheese board, served with a chef's selection of assorted meats, cheeses, and accompaniments for $23. And there is way too much on here for me to possibly remember everything that I was told, so we're gonna throw it back to when my server brought it over so she could let us know.
We have the Spanish chorizo with sweet peppadew and pickled mustard seed, sweetgrass camembert with fig, goat cheese rolled in duca spices with marcana almonds. A truffle cordero goes nicely with the honeycomb. This is the Wagyu beef biltong with pickled veg, a Spanish torta, and a multi-seed cracker.
You guys know me. You know exactly what I am going for first. It's obviously this goat cheese. I love goat cheese, so I'm hoping this is good. And I can't even remember what was told to me that is on the outside of this. But it's some type of seasoning that smells kind of like curry. At first, I wasn't quite sure how to feel about it. I mean, the goat cheese on the inside is obviously just your typical creamy, delicious goat cheese. But the seasoning on the outside threw me off quite a bit in the beginning. The more I'm eating it, the more I like it. And I put it on this cracker. This cracker, the seeds on it, are actually quite tasty. So I like that. And I bet it's going to pair really nicely with this honey, or honestly, whatever kind of jam that is there. Oh, was it fig jam? Ooh, I love fig jam on a charcuterie board, but we'll just go with some honey for now. It's good. Yeah, we got some pickled veggies, we got some mustard, we got a little type of salami there. Good. What is this? Some type of like Wagyu, American Wagyu something? It's hard to remember when you order a charcuterie board, everything that's on it. 'Cause it always just says like seasonal meats and cheeses. I can never remember. Tastes like meat that comes on a charcuterie board. No complaints there. Marcona almonds. I mean, that's always going to be good. We also got some camembert cheese, I think she said. Which is like a brie. And I love brie cheese. Honestly, this should be like my ideal charcuterie board. It has like a brie cheese and a goat cheese. And those are 2 of my favorite kinds of cheeses. Oh, maybe we'll do brie with some of the jam here. And our last cheese we have to try is this truffle-y kind of cheese. Honestly, yeah. Truffle, a brie type cheese, and a goat cheese. What more can you ask for? I don't think $23 is bad for this either. I think you get a good amount of stuff on here and a good like variety of things as well. I'm definitely not mad at it. I don't think it's the best value charcuterie, but I also don't think it's near the worst. So, yeah. I think this is pretty decent. All right, round 2 has arrived and everything is looking very good, but I must admit, it's all also looking very small, very tiny portions here. I'm hearing these wild mushroom dumplings are very good though, so I want to start with these. These are served in a dim sum sauce with chili crunch and roasted mushrooms for $14. These are the plant-based dish here, and they have very big shoes to fill because the previous plant-based dish here was very good. They used to have this cauliflower dish that was so delicious. It was like fried cauliflower in this Asian-inspired sauce. So good. And we only have 4 dumplings here for what, $14? That's a little bit pricey, in my opinion here. But let's dig into this. We'll cut one in half. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of a cross section. I believe they had dumplings recently at Tiffin's. And I don't remember if I liked them or not. But we'll see how this one is. Okay. There's the inside. It does look very meaty, which I'm hearing it is quite meaty. So hopefully it tastes that way as well. Let's soak up a little more sauce. And I love some chili crunch too. Dumplings are probably one of my favorite foods. And I don't think this is one of the better dumplings that I've had. I feel like the wrapper tastes more like a wonton wrapper. It's very hard. It's not like a typical dumpling wrapper. The wrapper is kind of what's making this a little bit of a miss for me. And I like al dente pasta and stuff. But this wrapper is just not a dumpling wrapper. Or maybe they just haven't been cooked or steamed long enough. They are not pan-fried dumplings, and I think they could benefit from a little bit of a pan-fry to add a little bit of an extra texture there. The filling on the inside, I don't think it tastes like mushrooms. So if you're worried about it being too mushroomy, I'm not really getting mushroom whatsoever. The filling on the inside, although it doesn't taste like mushroom, it's also like very mush-like. Which a lot of times you get that when you order plant-based kind of dishes. I'm watching my mom kind of like try to cut through that dumpling, and I feel like usually with a dumpling you should be able to cut it with a fork, and you cannot even cut this with a fork. Like you have to use, she's shaking the table. Like you have to cut this with a knife, with a blade on it. Like you cannot cut these dumplings. I don't know if that's just like a one-off experience. Maybe they were just cooked improperly this one time. I don't know if they're just always like this. I have no idea. But that's just how they are right now when we're getting them. But as it stands, not a fan, unfortunately. And I love dumplings, so I was really hoping to enjoy these. Now, what does look really good to me, though, are these Chinese 5-spiced glazed chicken wings. These are served with pickled cucumbers for $16. I believe they had some type of chicken wing on the menu previously, but this is a brand new version, and I believe they're going to kind of change the flavor of them seasonally. Now, my current favorite wings on property are the ones over at Wailulu. They're in like a soy adobo kind of glaze, and they are so good. These are completely different, though, because these have a little bit of like a breading on them, and you can see they look so insanely crispy. These look really good. This is hands down the best thing I have had from here so far today. These wings are so delicious. First of all, they are so crispy. The outside, like I said, they have some type of breading on them, but the breading is like so light that the whole wing isn't completely encased in that breading. Just like the slightest breading to where it works so perfectly to keep that wing so crispy. So good. Fried to absolute perfection. And that sauce on there, sweet, sticky, so good. I need like a hot, wet towel after that because that sauce really has my hands so sticky. But man, that sauce, as much as I love a crispy wing, that sauce is definitely the best part. These might give Wailulu a run for their money. That's how much I like them. I'm serious, they're so good. It almost has a little bit of a nuttiness as well. Maybe that's from the 5-spice that they have in the sauce. And like I said, I believe these are seasonal and they're going to kind of change up the flavor of them. And if that's true, I'm curious to see how good the other flavors are going to be because this is fantastic. It's also served with some pickled cucumbers, and I love some type of pickle. Very sour. And not in like a vinegar way sour, like actual like almost sour candy way. Sweet too. Ooh, those are interesting. But the wing is the wing is where it's at for sure. Now on to our next sticky dish, the sticky pork ribs with a Okinawa black sesame barbecue and pickled cucumbers for $18. Guys, $18 for 3 ribs is a lot of money. And these are not big ribs either. These are pretty tiny. I think they have some good ribs at Wailulu as well. I keep referencing Wailulu, but they got a lot of comparable dishes, and the ribs there were a lot bigger, and they gave you more, and I think the price was maybe around the same. But I'm a little bit disappointed in like the size of these new dishes that they have here, but let's try out these ribs. The sauce on them is so dark. Oh my gosh. It looks like a very deep, dark barbecue. Those ribs are way too saucy for me. There is way too much sauce on there for me to enjoy. It really just like overpowers everything and really just like hits you in the face with that flavor. It's also not like super sticky. Like the wings have that sticky kind of coating, and the ribs over at Wailulu are like sticky ribs. These, I don't know if they're like that sticky. It's more of like a barbecue rib. Like it's kind of, it tastes like a barbecue sauce almost with like an Asian inspired twist. I'm also not a huge fan of like the quality of rib that they're using. The bone in here is huge and it's very fatty and it's just not super tender. I'm having like a hard time kind of getting the meat off the bone itself. And I'm having to like really work to get the meat off. I don't know. I'm a little bit disappointed in these, and especially for the price, like 3 of these for what, $18? That's $6 a rib. This is not $6 worth right here.
The sticky ribs at the festival, how much are that?
Oh yeah, they have sticky ribs right now at Flower and Garden Festival. Those are 2 for what, like $7 or something? Yeah. I think it's 2 for $7, $3.50 a rib.
Meaty, tender. Mm-hmm. They fell off the bone in the flavor.
Those festival ribs are better than these. I hate to say that, but it's true. Our final dish that we have here is the grilled beef kefta, which is a Middle Eastern inspired beef skewer with a harissa hummus, an herb honey yogurt, and pickled red onion on top of naan bread for $17. I'm not really sure what the best way to eat this is. I feel like I gotta like cut myself off a piece and like wrap it in the naan, huh? Let's do that. I don't know if I've ever had a kefta before, like one of these skewers. I've always seen it on TikTok and I've been wanting to try, but I think this is going to be like my first time. From my understanding, it's kind of like seasoned ground beef wrapped around a skewer and baked. This is kind of hard to get off here, huh? I'm excited to try this like yogurt dressing that they've got on here though, and I'm noticing this is the same pita bread that we had earlier with the dips. Okay, there we go. I've got myself a messy little mini pita. Let's try it out. Flavor's on point. I really like the flavor of that honey yogurt mixed with the harissa honey yogurt. And I also think the beef skewer itself has a ton of flavor. It's super moist. You know, when you expect ground beef, you don't expect it to be like seasoned that well, but no, this has like a ton of flavor. I like the flavor of this. All of them combined, so nice, especially that pickled red onion on there. It's like a little bit crunchy, which is really nice too. My issue with this is, again, the price. I think the prices on the old menu, you had some reasonable things, like that tuna poke bowl. I want to say it was around like $17, and it was a huge portion of food. Like that whole bowl there filled me up. It was so much food. This, however, this now is not really gonna fill you up. There's no side. It's just not enough really for a full meal. Whereas before, I do feel like there was good value in the food. I kind of feel like they just like changed the menu to have smaller portions of food for the same price or a little bit more. So although the flavor of some of these things is good, I just don't see a lot of value in a lot of it anymore, which is a little bit sad because there was value here previously, but I don't know if there is anymore. But we still have one more thing to try, the churros with a vanilla crema and a blueberry sauce for $11. You guys might already be aware, but these churros aren't always served with a blueberry sauce. They are served with a vanilla sauce and a seasonal sauce. The current seasonal sauce is a blueberry sauce. I was here a month or so ago, and the seasonal sauce was my favorite seasonal sauce. strawberry, the spicy strawberry sauce. It is so good. The spice is just like the perfect spice that goes with the strawberry. It is so good, and they hadn't had it in so long. It was the seasonal sauce for like 3 years in a row, and then it was gone for like years, and then they finally brought it back. And now we have a new seasonal sauce, one that I've never seen before in blueberry. And I like blueberry, so I actually have a feeling this is going to be very good. And I have a feeling it's going to pair with the vanilla perfectly. Now these churros, as you may know, are gluten-free, and they are so delicious. Best churros at Disney World. So I'm really excited to try this sauce here. Let's just try the blueberry on its own first. We'll go for a dunk in the blueberry. It looks delicious. Perfectly tart, perfectly sweet. It tastes like a sauce that you would get on like pancakes, like a freshly made blueberry compote. It doesn't taste like any artificial sweetener or anything. It tastes like a little bit tangy, a little bit tart, perfectly sweet. So good. But the real test is, how does it pair with the vanilla? So we have to dunk in the blueberry and then the vanilla. The combo bite. This is the perfect bite right here, or it should be. Right now, I'm gonna call it a tie. Spicy strawberry and blueberry are the two best. I mean, this is the best sauce that they have made since spicy strawberry. They've done like a caramel one, a chocolate one. I haven't been a fan of either of those. I like to pair like a fruit sauce with my churro. And this literally is so good. It really competes with the spicy strawberry, guys. Come here. I mean, you can't come here and not get the churros. You have to try these out. They're just so buttery and crispy, so soft on the inside, but so crispy on the outside, just doused. I mean, look at the amount of like cinnamon sugar on these. If you come to Animal Kingdom and you get a churro anywhere other than Nomad Lounge, you're doing it wrong. And this blueberry sauce with them, I wouldn't be mad if they kept this for a while as their seasonal sauce. So good. And also, you can get these to go from the bar while you're getting a drink. This is like the only food that you could get to go. But man, that is good. I am pleasantly surprised by this blueberry sauce. It gets my two thumbs up. Well, with that, we are done over at the Nomad Lounge. And the big question is the new menu an upgrade or a downgrade? And I gotta admit, I think the new menu is a bit of a downgrade. You know, we tried some things that were good. I enjoyed that naan and dip trio. I also really enjoyed those wings. And of course, the churros with that new dipping sauce. But other than those three things, I don't know if when I went back there, I would be that excited to get any of the food again. And that's just really sad, because the food over at Nomad, I feel like used to be such a highlight. In fact, when I was looking for a sit-down meal here in the park, I used to have such a hard time deciding whether I was going to eat over at Yak and Yeti or here at the Nomad Lounge. And now these days, I feel like the answer is kind of clear for me. I'm going to Yak and Yeti. You know, the vibes over at Nomad are obviously still great, and so are the drinks. But I just feel like if I'm looking for a full sit-down meal, the food at Yak and Yeti is just now clearly better. And it didn't always used to be like that, so bit of a bummer. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. What do you think of these new changes? Has your favorite menu item gone away, vanished from the menu? Let me know in the comments down below. That is going to do it for our day here in Animal Kingdom, trying the new menu at the Nomad Lounge. Thank you so much for hanging with me. Thank you to everyone over on Patreon. I really appreciate your support. As always, if you enjoy honest Disney food reviews, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.